everybody else is normal, and there's something wrong with us, right? You think, oh, everybody's so normal. There's something wrong with us. Well, you're not alone, my friend. You're not alone. That's a pretty common trait, and we're going to address it today. And I thank you for sharing that. And you'll find out no matter what you share, it's funny when people talk about disclosure. I don't want to tell them. It doesn't matter what you share. Somebody else is going through the same thing. Oh, you got procrastination issues. Okay. Other people have too. You've got whacked out parents. Other people got an issue too. How about this one? You've been abused. You've been abused when you were a kid, or other people got that issue too. Doesn't matter what it is in the human experience, somebody's got that kind of issue to deal with. And we're going to be addressing that here. That's wonderful. Now, I have one of my best students on the broadcast today, and I'm darn proud of him because he's a championship athlete and a good guy and a dear friend. So I just want you guys, as people are coming on here, I just want you to hear someone who's been studying my work and been a devoted student of mine, to have him just share a little bit about what's been happening with them and about energy awareness training. Rasmus, would you mind sharing a little bit with the guys?
Yes, of course.
Rasmus is coming from Denmark, guys. He's tuning in from what city?
Aarhus, Denmark. It's the second largest city in Denmark.
Beautiful, beautiful. Maybe you could share a little bit about working with me, where you were when you started, and what's happening with you now.
Of course. Yes, I started working with Glenn about 1.5-2 years ago, and when I started working with Glenn, I had kind of been in self-development for a year or so, and I was like really low. I had been to a mental hospital some years ago, and then I started doing a little bit self-development, and that helped me a little bit. But I could just feel in my mind that kind of the blockages I had, there was nothing in the physical world or in the 3D world that would be that could possible help me. So it was kind of it was also because I was a little bit dumb. I just tried everything I could get my hands on to kind of fix this problem. So I just kind of by a coincidence, kind of by coincidence, I bought Glenn's program from the hot seat, and then I immediately when I bought it, I slowly began to kind of see, this can actually help. This can actually kind of get rid of the blockages I had in my mind for all my life. And then I just started doing it all the time. Every time I had an opportunity. Actually, all my life was around it. I was doing energy work, or was working to try to save up for. I was doing private coaching with Glenn in the beginning. So just work or do the energy work, and it started slowly for me. Like I got a little bit more light in my head, and things started to clear a little bit more up in the beginning, but it was still tough. And then I don't know when it began, but at a certain point it kind of then it started really rolling. And kind of my outer circumstances also completely changed to where when I began, I was studying something I didn't. It was all right, but I didn't really like it that much, and I was working like not a really good job. And yeah, I didn't have a very
How are
good.
things going for you now, Rasmus? Tell us a little bit what life's like now.
That was what I was getting to, and now it's going amazing. Now it's going amazing. Now I'm doing what I love. I'm playing badminton.
He's a championship badminton player
On a high level and wants to be before. And
he's breaking up a little bit.
Both as a player and a coach, and like I'm just surrounded by love and positivity around myself. I have really good relationships to both friends, girls, and my family, and and my health is good. Everything is just it started internally, and now everything externally is just good. And I feel
Beautiful.
like
So just to sum it up here, when you came to me, as many of you guys came to me from the hot seat or from referral, you were stressed out. You had a bad self-image. You had a lot of fear going on. You wanted to be a professional athlete, but you weren't sure that you had the skills to do it. And then you work with me. You work with me personally, and you joined some online courses that I had, and now you're playing full-time, semi-professional badminton. You're one of the best badminton players in the whole country of Denmark. You've got great self-image. Your game is improved. You got more self-confidence, and life's good. Would that sum it up?
Yeah, pretty much.
Great. All right. I appreciate you being on and supporting me on the broadcast, Rasmus. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay. Want to hear from a couple more of you guys before we go into content. Just what you've come on the broadcast for, what you're looking for, what you're dealing with now. Somebody on the call here want to share with me what's happening with y'all? Go ahead and raise your hand before I call on you.
I don't know.
Oh, Chris, you moved your hand. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Great. Great. What's going on with you, Chris?
So, like the gentleman before, I initially got exposed to your work through the Owens Hot Seat at Home program. And before then, I was like massively into game and going out, and there was in personal development, and there was a lot of progress, but it was never as easy as I would like, and there was still always resistance. And it's like the tactics would be kind of how to fight against it, but it was still challenging and hard. And then pretty much I started doing the exercises just blind faith. Like I'm not sure it's going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway. And pretty much things just shifted where things I saw the instructors doing, how they were just free and it was just flowing and it seemed so easy. I could never quite understand it, but it was like, okay, now I get it. I see where they are energetically and it makes more sense. And then I was able to go out and a lot of the resistance or procrastination or hesitation or negative thoughts, I just didn't deal with that. And it was actually like, this is what I thought it should be like. And it was huge spike in, self-image, much more powerful communicator, really just a transformative, kind of experience that kind of dripped into other areas of life. I've taken more action, less resistance, and like upward spiral. So it's really been from your work, and I'm very, thankful for that.
Great, Chris. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. We got some more great content. Have you pursued to work anything more beyond the hot seat?
No, not yet.
Okay, no worries. Well, I'm going to give you some gems tonight. You guys are going to be glad you're on this call because I'm going to give you a lot of content, and I'm going to rock your world. So hang out and enjoy it. I'm going to give you everything I can in this. This is what I'm about. I'm about sharing this information. It changed my life, and it's going to change yours. Okay, let's hear from maybe one or two more guys. We'll get started. Hey, Carl, how you doing? Good to see you. Where are you from?
I'm from Norway.
You're from Norway. Another Norway. Okay,
Yeah.
Great. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Good.
Yeah, like the other gentleman here, I've been into self-development for, I'd say 2 years, and then I discovered RSD, and now I also have my other friend here, Steve. I just got him to join, and he's super excited. Also, me and Steve has been gaming together. We met during exchange, actually, in Rotterdam. So we've been on the journey together, actually, when it comes to self-development and game and all that stuff. And we're doing weekly calls. We read books. We read books together. We just try to keep each other on a high vibration. energy level all the time. And my life has changed a lot the last years, to be honest. I used to be stuck on a really low paradigm, like not really appreciating life. But now I'm just so grateful for where I am and the development I'm on, and the people I met on the journey. I was actually on the Miami Winter Summit with my Norwegian friend Oscar. I don't know if you know him, Glenn, but I think I got to know you through him somehow on Instagram. So yeah, I'm doing some RSD programs this fall, and I'm just trying to make the most out of life and become a high vibrational spiritual being. I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited.
Beautiful. Love that. Love to hear that. Well, welcome to the broadcast, Carl. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm gonna pick up. You guys are giving me information here, so it's for me to work with you. So everything that you share with me, I'm gonna put in the correction on that. Beautiful. All right, let's hear from one other guy. Hey, Ryan, what's going on with you? Welcome to the broadcast.
How's it going?
Going great, man. Going great. What's happening with you? Where are you from?
I am currently in Atlanta right now.
Atlanta,
Georgia.
Right on. Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
And what's your interest in what we're doing here today? What are you dealing with, or what are you interested in, or what you going through?
I could take an hour for this, but I'll keep it short.
Okay.
I think what attracted me to you initially was, I've studied a lot of personal development stuff, Tony Robbins, Ty Lopez, all these different guys, RSD. And, obviously, you learn a lot, and it's a lot of advice and head knowledge. But I noticed that, I wasn't really changing from an energetic standpoint. I still felt, depressed, anxious. And I actually didn't really feel like when I got results that I could really enjoy and have meaning for those results, so to speak. And then also when you were talking about, having these negative thoughts all the time, I really resonate a lot with that. So I was like, all right, I'm going to give this a try, see what's happening. And I've been using the energetic breath a lot that you've had from your other videos. And I've literally been doing a lot of that the past couple of days. And I already feel a huge difference in my energy. I feel more expansive, feel more happy. And it really does work.
Beautiful. What are you looking for to expand or to shift that you like to change or shift in your life?
The biggest thing is those voices in my head, because they're just they're so loud. They're just pounding me down, and I put on this mask that I'm always happy and smiling, but that shit just really gets to me when I'm alone. So the biggest thing, I just want to get rid of those negative voices, because I know once that goes away, then I'll have so much more energy to do my goals and the things I want to achieve.
Beautiful. Okay, well, appreciate you sharing that. We're going to give you some rocking content here today. Appreciate you. Let's go one more. Adolfo, how you doing, bro?
Excuse.
Oh, we got two for one here.
What's up?
You guys?
I now drink tea at 2 p.m.
Okay.
I also drink tea and coffee sometimes in the morning.
Marcel,
now at
not
2
your
p.m.
turn. Marcel, not your
starting
your
to drink tea.
Hold on, dude.
I must be living in England or getting really old, which is probably the latter. Top of the morning to you. Keep some tea. Can't really see it, but hey, got some tea going on.
Yeah.
I am an old man. I used to watch my parents get up, eat coffee, drink tea during the day, and now I'm doing it.
Beautiful.
I don't know. I just thought it was kind of cute and funny.
Appreciate that. Thanks. Let's go back to Adolfo. Who's your buddy next to you?
Hey, man. This is my friend Raul.
Hey, Raul. ¿Qué pasa, amigo?
That's good, yeah. We're actually Portuguese, but yeah, my name is Spanish, so yeah.
Cool. Where are you guys coming? Where are you guys from?
Portugal, yeah.
You guys are dialing from Portugal. Beautiful. What's about 10 o'clock there?
Yeah, exactly. 10 o'clock.
All right. Beautiful. All right. So what interested you in coming on the broadcast? What are you looking for? And how'd you hear me?
Actually, we heard about you through RSD, Real Social Dynamics, initially. And yeah, we got interested in your content, you know, because we have our businesses. Sometimes things are kind of stressful, you know, and you know, you get anxious because you got, you know, to deliver to the clients and everything. And, you know, you have freedom because you are not on a 9-to-5 job, but I think it also causes a lot of stress.
Yeah, there's like more added pressure once you're like your business owner, because you don't have the safety of a 9-to-5, because you know that like next month you're going to get paid for sure. If you don't like actually perform, you don't get any money. So yeah, that's kind of like where I think that we need more help in, because it is like we do feel like some stress like because of that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Great. Okay, well, I'm going to address that too. So welcome to the broadcast, and everybody who's on here, welcome aboard. And let me give you some rocking content, and let's just go ahead and begin. I'm going to give you some information, and plus we're going to do some exercises today to alleviate stress and anxiety. So let's go ahead and begin. My name is Glenn Ackerman, and I am the founder and the developer of Energy Awareness Training. Energy Awareness Training is an all-new method, course, system that starts where all the personal development crap leaves off. And what it does is it hones in on exactly what it is that's keeping us from our full potential life. It's like we're here and we want to be here. And all of us have tried various ways to try to move towards our ideal life, but there's something that just keeps pulling us back, or something that blocks us out from that. So like from like you guys, I recognized that I had stress and anxiety, and I had this stuff inside me, these crazy thoughts that were messing with me as I graduated from college, and I wanted to set the world on fire and go into the world and be successful. But where I came from, maybe some of you can relate to this. Where I came from was a household where there was a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety and a lot of tension. And I had to listen to this, you know, mom and dad and brothers and sisters and all this craziness, and had to deal with a lot of anger, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. And I thought, whoa, I can't wait to get out of here. So even though I left the house and went into on my own, that tension and stress and anxiety didn't leave me. And it came with me. And I realized after a while, I go, wow, I still got these thoughts and this anxiety. And like somebody mentioned on the call here, outward, I would be, you know, Mr. In Control, Mr. Tough Guy, Mr. You know, powerful, etc. But inside, I was filled with anxiety and self-doubt, and these thoughts that were attacking me, that saying, you're no good, you're never going to be successful, you can't get the girl you want, your uncle was right, you're never going to amount to anything. I mean, just, it's like somebody punching me inside my head. So like you guys, before you, I think I got a 10-year head start on most of you. I looked around for what I could do to improve myself. I wanted to know, how can I get out of this, get this stuff out of my head, and how can I improve? So I did all the stuff you guys, I did Tony Robbins Firewalk, I did NLP, I did all sorts of meditation stuff. I studied with some of the greatest personal development guys around, and actually worked for them. And I presented personal development programs, you know, from this thing and that thing, and was expert in about 10 different modalities. And while they made a little bit of a difference, but it didn't affect the whole picture. You guys with me? You guys have done all kinds of classes, you've read all kinds of books, you've done all this stuff, and let's face it, you're still dealing with a lot of the crap that you got into this to deal with. So I'm with you right there. I know what that feels like. And it wasn't until I started moving into, and since most of the guys here are have game in common, I used to be in game too. I thought, if I just learn to be good at game, then my life's going to be great. If I can just get that hot girl or that, and just go and be a super, PUA, I'm got it going. So I spent a lot of time in that, and I got really good at it. And I worked with all of the big names and taught some of their seminars actually in the business. I don't want to go into them, but you all know who they are. So I got good at game, but I recognized that even though I got good at game, there was still a lack. There was still something missing inside me that the game couldn't cure. So, no matter how many girls I would date or go out with or have and go through, there was still this inadequacy. There was still these thoughts, and there was still this, I didn't know what to call it before now, but it was an energy, but I didn't know what it was. So as I continued my studies in all sorts of areas, I began studying energy medicine, energy psychology, and energy healing. And I had some great teachers, but that wasn't even enough either. It wasn't until I came to a place in my life where what I'm teaching you guys today was actually downloaded to me. I got it from another dimension, the realization of how everything worked. And once you see this, it blows your mind. You have an incredible advantage over anybody who doesn't know these things. An incredible advantage. I mean, think about it. It's a superpower because you're able to see things that other people can't see. You're able to know things that other people don't know. You're able to do things that other people can't do yet because you have this, it's like you have these X-ray glasses where you can see energy and you can see realities that most people can't. Why? Because they're not energetically aware. And that's the key factor that changed my life. So when I got this download, I was able to put together all the different things that I had learned into one easily achievable system. And I started working it, and then the stuff that I was dealing with started evaporating. All the thoughts in my head started, the fear and the attack and the worry dissolved. All the upsetting emotions dissolved. All the fears dissolved. And I was able to move into a whole new dimension, a whole new state of consciousness that I had never experienced before. And I go, wow, this is what it means to be living life at its fullest. To be energetically aware, to be able to know, see things the way they truly are, and to be able to be happy, to be able to have joy, to be able to be in control no matter what. And this is the promise of what I teach, which is called energy awareness training. The purpose of this, the first purpose of this work is to have you to end your suffering. And most human beings are experiencing emotional suffering. That means you're worried about something, you've got anxiety about the past or the future, you've got some kind of fear going on. That's the human experience. And and we all thought, oh, well, that's just life. No, it's an energy that's affecting you. I'm going to go over that in a minute. But imagine if all that was gone, or you were able to neutralize all that, and that you were constantly in a state of high vibrational energy. Now, I want you to know that I was the originator of that term. Before 3 years ago, before Owen and RSD learned this, you never heard that too much on the internet. You never heard that in game. You never heard that anywhere. But I brought that because that's an important part of my work. I was able to identify, and this is the power, what I'm talking about, guys, to become energetically aware. Now, what does that mean? Well, what it means is that this work that I do, which is head and shoulders over anything in personal development, In fact, I don't know if you guys know, let me get a little more light in here. I don't know if you guys are aware that the personal development model, that means the books, the tapes, the seminars, the positive thinking, all that stuff, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry, has a 97% failure rate. Do you guys know that? The books on how to be successful, the seminars, how you can live your best life, how you can get the girl you want, all that stuff is 97% failure rate. You know why? Because what happens when you read the book, let's say you get a book. You're reading the book here. Oh yeah, great book. Yeah, this is how I can be happy. This is how I can be successful. This is how I can control my life. Wow, that's great, man. That's a great book. But then what happens? It's just turning around in your head. So what do? You go get another book. How many of you guys got tons of books in your library, huh? We see a show of hands. You guys got tons of books, right? And it's a good read, but one of the things you'll learn today that's so powerful, in fact, I recommend that you have a notebook or something to write notes on, because I'm going to give you some powerful tools today. And the first thing is, nothing changes until energy moves, okay? You can read all the books in the world. You can go to all the seminars in the world. You can get the best advice in the world. But you know what? Nothing changes until energy moves. That's why when I speak in conferences and lectures, and when I spoke at Summit, I spoke a few years ago at both the Las Vegas Summit and I spoke at the Miami Summit too. And everybody asked me a question: what books do you read? And I said to them, what books do I recommend? And I say, I don't recommend any books. You guys read enough books. And that's why you're here, because those books didn't give you the answers that you were looking for. And you go, well, maybe I'll find it here with Glenn and what he's talking about. So the good news is that you've come to the right place, because the answer isn't in the information, it's in the energy. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. The answer isn't in the information that you get, because information without action is useless. It's in the energy that you're going to get. So whenever you make a change, it's not because you read a book, it's because you had the energy to follow through. So in typical, because we're all guys here, it seems, let's take the typical example of the approach, okay? That's where everybody's got a problem, okay? So I get the book and I go, okay, see the girl, realize you're attracted to her, go over there and talk to her and make conversation and get her phone number. Okay, that's what the book says. Okay, great. Okay, I see the girl, I'm attracted to her. Now go over there and talk to her. Boom, that's where everybody stops. Step number 3. Why? Because energetically speaking, there's an energy that said, ooh, opportunity. Great, let's go over there. Let's do something about that. Yeah, you can be a real girl. You can maybe have a girlfriend, get her number. Yeah. So you took one step forward, and then the other energy came along. You can't go over there. She's going to blow you out. She wouldn't be attracted to someone like you. You're not good enough for a girl like that. Don't even think about it. Remember the last time you went over and tried to pick a girl up or try to meet her and she said, get away, or I'm not interested. Remember that feeling? Think about that now. Okay, now, do you still want to go over there? And that's what shuts us down. So no matter how good the information is that you're getting, nothing changes until energy moves. Now, before I came along, nobody ever talked about energy. People were talking about inner game. Okay, inner game. What's inner game? Okay, well, look at it this way. Look at it that way. Think about it this way. Think about it that way. That's great. So when I did an appearance at the, at the Las Vegas Summit for RSD, when I spoke for them, I was the only guy on stage who talked about energy. And man, you could hear a pin drop with people, because just like you guys, I'm ringing the bell. In fact, I just happen to have one. I'm ringing your bell. I'm ringing your bell because you're going, yeah, man, that's reality. You know, that's telling it like it is. So the missing link for all of your lives is the energetic component, becoming energetically aware. Now, game is a good place to start. That's where I started. But what it did was it opened up the reality that there's so much more than just game. There's so much more that I want to be. There's so much more that I want to do. And there's so much more that I want to have than what I got right now. And I'm fighting and I'm trying to find a way to be able to do it. And I take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. Okay, you guys can relate to what I'm talking about? Okay, is this ringing your bell? Good. All right. This is my crowd because I've walked in your shoes. So what happens? So after I learned to become energetically aware and I opened up my senses to be able to recognize energy, I was able to make phenomenal changes in every area of my life. And after I started doing that, things started to clear up. And I'll tell you what, when you get that monkey off your back, whatever it is, everybody here on the call has got a monkey. It's that thing it's that issue that if you only could deal with this, man, you'd be happy. No matter what it is, whatever the fear, the anxiety, the behavior, the addiction, whatever it is, that's what I call the monkey. And every guy's got a monkey. When you get that monkey off your back, man, it's like you learn how to fly. Because life gets great. You realize how this monkey has been holding you back, has been holding you down for so long and robbing you of your life. That's what this monkey does, or what I call low vibration energy. We'll talk about that in a minute. That's what this monkey does, man. It robs you of great girls. It robs you of new experiences. It robs you of money because it wants to fill you with fear and worry and doubt and kind of like this. You're like, oh, I've had enough. So that's available to every guy here and to every person who studies and learns energy awareness training. All right. Now, so what happened is once I freed myself and I started making the money I wanted to make, holy smokes, you know, quadrupled my income. I started having the life I wanted, free, you know, the life of a successful entrepreneur and teacher. Wow. I never go where I want, do what I want, wherever I want to go, no matter what it costs. Whoa. Being able to choose any girl that I want to have or not choose, to be able to be at choice and to be okay with what happens. It's freedom. And that's the second thing energy awareness training gives you. The first thing it does is it eliminates the emotional suffering, and all emotional suffering is unnecessary. There's never a need for you to suffer emotionally. And in fact, even if you think about worry, the things that we worry about, 99 out of 100 times, it never happens. The things that we're worried about. So we scare the shit out of ourselves for nothing. Okay? So energy awareness training eliminates that emotional suffering, and then it brings you into freedom. Physical freedom, financial freedom, energetic freedom. And that's the life that every guy on this call is meant to live. And virtually everybody, we are meant to live our fullest and best potential. That's why we know what we're capable of, and we know where we're at right now. We're here, but we're capable of this. And we're trying to get there and figure out how to do that. Well, the missing link is to become energetically aware. That's the missing link. And what happened was once I was able to free myself, I started helping other people too. And I developed a practice here. I'm in West Hollywood, California, right here next to Beverly Hills in Hollywood. And I have a private practice here where I do personal coaching with a lot of celebrities, well-known people in sports and movies and entertainment and business, because they want the cutting edge information. Now, one of the reasons why you're here is because one of my best students is a guy you're familiar with named Owen. And Owen heard about what I was doing and was interested. Now think about this for a minute, guys. He so successful, he could go study with anybody he wants. He could go, and he studies with the best guys in the world. But he heard about what I do, and he heard about energy awareness training, and he was so intrigued that he wanted to come and study with me 3 times a week. Not once a week, not like 3 times a week. He was coming over to my office. And it's a testament to him as a leader, that when he recognized the power of something, he says, man, I got to have it. I want to, and he concentrated, and we worked together for years. And you can see the difference in his videos. That's one of the reasons people keep contacting me. They say, you know what, I saw the difference in Owen before and after, and I was blown away. And he talked about me, you know, on his videos, and mentioned me, and had me work with all the staff at RSD. So I worked with all of them. I worked with Julian. I worked with Max. I worked with Todd. I worked with Madison. Worked with them all. Primarily, Owen and Max and Julian were my students who really got. Some guys don't get this. You know, one of the guys, I won't mention which one it is, says, you know, Glenn, this is really great, but all I want to do is have sex with college girls in each day. That's all I want to do. I said, okay, great. This isn't for you. But for the rest of us, you know, this rings the bell. So as I started working with those guys, look at how they've taken off in the past few years. Owen's taken off. Julian, taken off. Max, taken all these guys and others as well. So all of a sudden, you know, I was just teaching privately here in my office, and Owen says, man, you got to take this work to the world. You got to let the world know what you're doing on social media and on YouTube, and bring this to the world. You owe it to the world to bring energy awareness training. I said, okay. So I started, and Owen told me, he says, you know, you better get out there, because we're going to start teaching your work, you know, because we're learning it from you, and it's helping us, and we're going to share it. So I said, okay. So you're seeing the results of that suggestion, putting energy awareness training out there, you know, and we have students from all over the globe here who want to know this information. And Owen was the one who, most of my private celebrity students, they don't want people to know that they're studying, you know, because they're private people. And when you work with celebrities, you got to be really cool and you got to be discreet. But thank God for Owen, man. He wanted to tell the world about it. So that's one of the reasons why you're here and you're hearing about this. So this is where we've caught up now from my story and how you've heard of me and how the thing works. Let's go in a little bit of a deeper detail. Okay, take an awkward break. Now, what is it that I teach that is so different from what everybody else teaches? I have about a 99% success rate. Now, they have the personal development success industry has a 97% failure rate. I have a 90% success rate. Everybody who studies energy awareness training, whether for me personally, one of my coaches, or online, their lives change. Why? Because energy is the most important thing you can study as a human being. That's a big statement. The most important thing? Why? Here's why. Take a breath. Because everything that you're doing in this world is an energy exchange. No matter what it is. Game. Getting up the courage to approach. Interacting, trying to move it to the next level, getting a girlfriend, keeping a girlfriend. That's an energetic exchange. Making money, having a great business that doesn't run you, but you're enjoying. That's an energy exchange. Being healthy, right? Being able to utilize your body and your health at your full potential, that's an energy. You see how it goes? So like for health, when the energy is good, you feel healthy. You feel vital. You're ready to conquer the world. When your energy is low or when it's blocked, you feel bad. You get sick. You're not productive. When your business is making money or when you're doing great at your job, you can feel an energy flow, because below every physical thing is the energy around it. I'm going to repeat that for you to write that down. Below every physical thing that we're doing in this world is the undercurrent of energy that drives it. Energy drives all activity that we do in this world. So same thing with game. Man, you better be in good energy when you're doing out in game, when you're approaching and when you're interacting. If you know, you can have the best lines in the world, but if your energy is like, oh, gee, you look pretty today, or oh, that's a nice outfit you have on, forget it, man. You're toast. You know why? Listen carefully. Because when you are having an energetic exchange with someone, when you go and start talking to somebody, whether it's for business or whether it's for game, your communication, only 10% of it is the words. Some of you may know this. It's 10. So 10% of it is the words I'm saying. 90% of it is the energy that I'm giving off. Right? So that's why, you know, you've seen great approachers and artists like Owen and the instructors. They go up and they say gibberish to women. Like, oh, how you doing? How you doing? And they make them laugh. Why? Because the energy is so strong and concurrent, it gets your attention. And that's what you guys need to learn. This is what I taught them. This is what made a big advantage in their game. It wasn't just mental, it was energy. So what you need to know is that when you're interacting with someone, you go to work, your energy gets there before you do. Do you know that? Our energy gets to wherever we're going about a millisecond before we do. So people can feel you. They can feel you, and they may not even be conscious about it. But when you're working with energy, you know, you meet somebody and you shake their hand and how you doing, and automatically you'll get an energy from them. I like their energy. This guy's got great energy. Or I don't like this guy's got weird energy. I don't want to be around him. Same thing with girls. She's got great energy. Love that. She's got bad energy. And that's so important because, hey, in game, you think you want the hot model or the gal that looks the best, but do you want her if she's got bad energy? Doesn't matter how good looking she is. If she's got bad energy, you don't want it. Why? Because you know you're going to be in for some suffering, right? And we've all done that. We've all been there. So what I want you to get here is understand that we are energetic sending and receiving vehicles. We are all energetic beings. Okay? So you are sending energy out and you are receiving energy back. That's just the way it is. Whether you know it or not, it doesn't matter. That's what's happening. And whether you're energetically aware or not, doesn't matter. It's like, hey, whether I know the law of gravity or not, doesn't matter. If I drop this pen, it's going to drop. You can say, gee, I didn't know that. Or I don't understand how that works. Doesn't matter. The law is the law. You know, you go to a foreign country, you know, you're driving around and you're driving fast and you don't know what the signs are and you don't know where you are. And the cop pulls you over and he says, hey, you know, you're breaking the speed limit. And you go, hey, I don't know what the speed limit is. I can't read the signs. And the cop says, it doesn't matter. Whether you know it or not, you still got to abide by the laws. Now, there are energetic laws in this world that we have to deal with. Now, whether you know them or not, doesn't matter. You're still underneath these laws and you just got to deal with it. And that's where the frustration comes. Because nobody ever taught us how the energetic laws work or what the energetic laws are. So whenever we make mistakes or we sabotage ourselves or we fail at what we plan to do or what we set out to accomplish blows up in our face, that is a direct confrontation with the energies. And that happens because you don't know how to read the energies yet. Now let's talk about these energies. Is this making sense so far, you guys? Raise your hand if this is freaking interesting to you. Okay?
Yeah, Glenn.
I want to make sure I'm in the right room. Because I'm giving you nuggets, diamonds here, you guys. Change your life. Okay, I think you're getting it. So let's pursue this. Now, when Owen heard this, me talk just like they went, dude, how do I learn this? How do I learn more about this? What do I do? Okay. Well, I'll tell you in a bit, but let's keep going with this, energies. So I want you to think about energy. First of all, I want you to realize that we live in an energetic planet here, okay? That everything we're dealing with is energy, everything. Our bodies, the air, the desk, the computer, girls, money, you name it, it's all a version of energy, molecules in motion, okay? We're all dealing with it. So the factor is that here we are, we're trying to figure out, you know, how to have a great life, how to go to the next level, you know, how to improve our fortunes in life. Okay, great. But I'm here to tell you, you're only using 10% of what you're capable of. So you know what it's like the iceberg? Okay, let's use that as an analogy. 10% above the water, you can see, 90% below the water that you can't see. And the Titanic wasn't sunk by the 10% it could see. It was sunk by the 90% that it couldn't see. So we have a saying in energy awareness training that goes like this: that which we can see, we can control. That which we can't see controls us. So when you're feeling out of control, when you want to be here and you're trying to get there and you're trying to bring in new habits or new behaviors or new women or new money or whatever it is, and it ain't happening, it's because there are energies that are controlling you that you aren't aware of yet. See, what I'm talking about, guys, is the ability to see and recognize invisible energy. So, you know, here's the example of this. We know that there are light frequencies that we can see. We know that there are light frequencies that we can't see, that are in higher dimensions, that are like infrared light, for example, or the X-rays or stuff that we can't see with our naked eye. But we learn how to be able to control them, or we learn how to be able to deal with them, but we have to use a different consciousness or a different perception. You guys with me? So now we get into identifying. Now we have a lot of energies pulling us up and down and back and forwards and all this stuff. But they're basically two energies that we have to deal with. And it's an energetic law. One of the energetic laws I teach is the law of duality. Duality, what's that? It means that there's two of everything. If there's an up, there's a down. If there's a left, there's a right. If there's a good, there's a bad. If there's a right, there's a wrong. If there's a male, there's a female. If it goes in, it goes out, etc. So when we're dealing with energy, we recognize as you look around the world, no matter what you're looking at, there's there's an opposite of it. So, you know, if it's daytime where you are, it's going to be nighttime soon. If it's nighttime where you're at, it's going to be daytime soon, right? If you got plenty of energy right now, great. You're going to be tired soon. Well, if you're tired, you're going to have energy soon, right? If you're about to go to sleep, you'll be asleep. When you wake up, you'll be awake, etc. So this is so important to be able to navigate what happens to us, because all of us want things to be great. All of us want to keep moving up. We want to get the girl. We want to get the money. We want to get the promotion. We want to have the business, etc. But we're not prepared what happens when the energy shifts. You know, everybody's happy and nobody needs any help when life's going great. But when life doesn't, when life flips over and things aren't going great, when you're not getting what you want, when what you're building blows up, or when you go in the opposite direction of what you planned, then you go, what's going on? Hey, what's the deal here? Why is this happening to me? This isn't the way I want it. And what does that mean? That means that there's another force affecting you that you can't see. Think about that. There's another force affecting you that you can't see. So this is my point about what it means to be energetically aware. When you're energetically aware, you're able to notice energies and their effect. Now, what am I talking about energies when I'm talking about how it affects us? Okay, I'm talking about our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and our behaviors. That pretty much makes up our inner world. Now, this is an important thing I want to mention to you. I want you to write this down. Your life doesn't come to you. Write this down. Your life doesn't come to you. It comes from you. Life doesn't come to you. It comes from you. What does that mean? Well, as an energetic being, I am receiving energy and I'm giving out energy. Okay, I'm receiving and I'm giving it out. And I can only give out the frequency that I'm attuned to. So, I want you to write this down too. Energy has a power, has a purpose, has a direction, has a frequency, and it gives you information. Energy has a power, has a purpose, has a frequency, and it gives you information. And this is how you have the hidden advantage over everybody else if you're energetically aware. Because since everything is energy, and since we are sending energy and we're receiving energy, when you receive energy from a girl, or when you receive energy from a boss, or from a client, or from a relative, or from any source, you know there's a purpose to that energy. It has a purpose to one way or the other. It has a power. Some of these energies are so powerful it can knock us off our feet. They have a direction that they're going in. And they give you off information. And especially for you guys in game, you gotta be able to realize this, because the energies can be deceptive. The energies can be deceptive, and it's another energetic law that says something. It's the law of illusion. So think about this for a second. Have you ever made a decision that you thought was the right one? That you made a decision, maybe to get involved with a girl, or maybe to get involved in a business, or maybe to get involved in a project, and you thought it was the right decision at the time, so you went ahead and did it, and then as you progressed into it, it got to be less and less to what you wanted to, and it turned out to be the exact wrong thing. So unknowingly you picked the wrong thing. Can I see a show of hands of guys that had that experience? Huh? All looking at you all. Okay, great. So you've had that experience, and you go, duh. If only I had known. If only I had known then what I know now, I never would have done that. Or you say, there was something in me that said, don't do it. Something that was warning me that said, don't do it, but I did it anyway. Why did you do it? And why didn't you listen to that warning you were getting? Because you weren't energetically aware. Now, if you had been energetically aware, you would have been able to see what you saw at the end. At the end of it, so many things you could see. Oh, I shouldn't have gotten involved with her because of this and because of that. I can see right now this was a bad decision, and it's very clear to me now. Oh, well, that's great. After the fact, now you're suffering. How valuable would it be to be able to see that stuff before it happens? How about before it happens? And this is the power of what I'm going to share with you today, is the power of energy. Because this is a power, guys. When you have this, you have superpowers. There's no other word for it. Let me explain. So I've told you that out of all the energies that we have two energies that we're dealing with. And I was the first guy, in personal development to talk about energy as high vibration or low vibration. So if you ever heard anybody talking about, hey, high vibration, low, they got it from me. Okay, I'm happy to stake that claim. Now, what do I mean by that? It simply means that there's an energy that wants to help you, that wants to inspire you, that wants you to expand your life, that wants you to have a great life, that wants all good. All good. Am I hearing an echo? Somebody in echo. If you're echoing, please mute yourself. If I'm coming across. Okay. So there's an energy that wants you to have a great life. But there's also, guys, I'm hearing an echo. Could you mute? Dante, could you make sure everybody's muted?
Yeah, everybody just mute your mic. Brayden, I don't know, everyone who has their mic on, just turn it off. We'll hold a live Q&A at the end so you can ask any questions.
Cool. Give me a goal, guys. Let me continue on. But there's an energy that is the exact opposite. Remember I talked to you about the law of duality? Well, if there's an energy that wants you to have your best, if there's an energy that wants you to have the girl you want, or the business or the job you want, or the lifestyle that you want, great. But there's also an energy that wants to prevent that. There's also an energy that gets in the way, that tries to resist that or sabotage that. We were talking earlier when we began the call about self-sabotage. So what is that? And how do we deal with it? Man, these are big questions. And this is the answers. The answers to this are what changes people's lives. Because in energy awareness training, what we do is we teach you how to read the energies. We know that, for example, high vibration energy is open, is expanding, it's flowing, it's abundant. It doesn't need anything to feel good. It can feel good right on its own. It's loving, it's kind, it's compassionate, it's of service to others. It's abundant, it's blessed. So those are the characteristics of a high vibrational energy. We also know that low vibration energy also has its own characteristics, right? That it's dark, that it's stuck, that it's constricted, that there's lacking, that there's anxiety, that there's stress, that there's worry, there's doubt, fear, and all that. We know these two energies. So one of the things that we teach you in energy awareness training, and that you can start learning right now with the tools, is to start identifying what is the energy that's coming my way. Is it high vibration energy or low vibration energy? Now, here's the big tip. Write this down, guys. Here's content you're getting. High vibration energy moves in a high vibratory direction. So in other words, high vibration energy can attract more high vibration energy. Low vibration energy will attract more low vibration energy. So let's use real life examples. You're hanging out with guys, and your best friend. Why do you have a best friend? Because they're supportive, they're kind, you can trust them, they make you happy when you're around them, one or two good friends. But you also know some guys who they're negative, they're down, they're angry, they're pissed, and they like to do, low vibration energy things. And you don't want to hang around them, because that's going to rub off on you. Whatever energy you are connected to, you get more of. Okay? You get more of. This is what it means to be energetically aware. What is the energy I'm in, and where is it taking me? Again, I repeat, energy has a power, a purpose, a direction, a frequency, and it gives you information. So what would it be like? See, right now, you're operating in what we call the 3D world, or the three-dimensional world. And that's where most people operate in. They operate in the three-dimensional world. And you base your reality on what I can see, what I can feel, and what I can hear. Okay? So if I can see it and I can feel it and I can hear it, okay, I can deal with it. But if I can't, then I can't. So but that's really only basically 3 dimensions of life. Science says that there's 10, 11, maybe even 12 or more dimensions of life. Just like that, the light I was talking about, the different infrared lights, there's levels of light. There's only 3 levels that we can see, but it keeps on going. Well, imagine if you were able to tap into the other 7 to 8 levels of reality. If you were able to see not just 30% of what's going on, but but the other 90%. If you're able to feel and experience not just the 3 dimensions, but the other 7 to 8 levels of reality. In other words, to be 70 to 80% more aware and conscious of what you are now. Do you think that would benefit your life? You better believe it would, because you wouldn't be making mistakes about judgment, because you'd be able to see the whole picture. See, when you can see the whole picture, when you're 100% sure about something, you don't make a mistake and you don't suffer. Because if you know something's a certain way, well, you know what you're going to get, and you either choose it or you don't choose it. But if you don't know, and so much of life is we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know if this girl's going to work out. We don't know if this investment's going to pay off, or if we're going to, if it's going to pay off or we're going to lose our money, God forbid. We don't know about this. So the quality of our life is the quality of our decisions. The quality of our life is the quality of our decisions. And the quality of our decisions are based on our ability to read energy, read reality, to know what's going on. So for example, I don't know if you guys saw that movie of Munich, Steven Spielberg, that came out a few years ago. But here's an example of what I'm talking about. So there was a scene when, so Munich was about an Israeli spy team going to assassinate, I guess that's a better word, the guys who killed the Israelis in the '72 Olympics. Okay, so it was a commando squad, and it was a really interesting movie if you get a chance to see it. Anyway, so they're at the bar, right? And the head guy, the head Israeli guy, young, good-looking guy, sitting next to this beautiful Dutch girl in this bar in Germany. And the Dutch girl says to him, they get to talking, and she says, if I could be honest with you, I've been kind of lonely these past few weeks, and I could use some companionship. Would you like to come up to my room? Now, the good-looking Israeli guy just had a baby, and he's in love with his wife. But he's a regular guy, and he's going, this chick's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. I'd love to spend the night with this girl. But the energy inside him says, you know what? You've got a wife, and who you committed to be faithful to, and you've got a baby girl. So stop your flirting, your flirting BS, and take responsibility. So he said, okay. He said, as much as I'd love to come and comfort you in your room, I can't. I'd like to, but I can't. I'm sorry. Oh, and that was painful. He had to walk away, and every step he took, he walked away. And he was walking up the stairs, and one of his older compadres, colleagues, walks down, and he said, the young guy told the older guy, he says, there's a honey trap in the bar. She's gorgeous. I can't do anything about it, but good luck to you. So the guy says, okay. So the guy goes down to the bar and does this thing, and the young guy calls his wife and says, I love you, and just reassures himself that he made the right decision. So after he makes the call, he's kind of curious to what happens. So he goes and knocks on the room of the older guy, and the guy's not in his room. So he's thinking, oh my gosh, he got it. He got that gorgeous girl. He's in with her right now. Oh my God, what did I miss? What did I miss? So he goes back to his room, and there's a room down the hall where the girl said she gave him the number of his room. He goes down there, and he noticed the door's open a little bit. So he goes, that's kind of funny. So he goes and he listens in to see if they're doing it. Doesn't hear anything, but the door's open. So he kind of opens the door a little bit and opens the door a little bit more. And he kind of peeks in to see if anybody's in there. And he puts his head inside the door, and he sees his friend lying on the bed with his throat slit, dead. She was an enemy agent trying to lure the Israeli commandos up to the room so that the terrorists could kill him. Okay? Now think about that for a minute. Just think about it for a minute. That guy down at the bar in the beginning wanted that girl so much. He was in pain because he couldn't have her, the young guy. He was in pain because he couldn't have her. And he pushed it back, which is an energetic training tool I teach you, until you know whether the right thing or the wrong thing is happening. He pushed it back, and he was suffering so much he had to call his wife because he was so miserable that he missed out on that. But if he had only known that that girl wasn't there to give him pleasure, she was there to kill him. Now he's like, oh my gosh, thank God. I made the right decision. It was the best thing that could have happened. Okay, that's how I'm telling you how the energies work. Now, that's an extreme example that was in the movies. But I'm here to tell you that we make decisions all the time, and we don't know if they're the right ones or not. But if you're energetically aware, there are tools and training tips that can teach you how to do that if you're able to read energy. Now, I can't teach you how to read energy, in this short webinar here. But I can give you clues and direct you on how to do this. Because, to become an energy aware, it's not an event, it's a training. It takes training to be able to see invisible energies, because nobody's ever trained you before. But the thing is that you can start right away once you become at least energy aware. And I'm hoping I'm ringing your bell. Time out. I'm ringing your bell to go, wow, there's a lot more going on here than I thought. There's a lot more going on here than I thought, and it's worth investigating. Okay, so what have you learned? So far, you're becoming aware that everything's energy, that you're living in an energetic planet, that every activity that you do is an energetic exchange. That's why studying energy awareness training is the most powerful thing you can do, because it affects everything that you do. You name it, it affects it. Doesn't matter what it is. You're dealing with money, it affects it. Health, it affects it. Game, it affects it. Career, it affects it. Self-image, it affects it. Whatever it is. So the only question is, are you going to awaken and start learning these hidden energies and how they work and what to do? Or are you going to stay ignorant? And like everybody else, wonder, gee, why did that happen? Why did this happen? Well, when you're energetically aware, there's no two ways about it. There's no mystery in life. In energy awareness training, you're able to put the jigsaw puzzle together. And I said, okay, I know that happened. When you're energetically aware, because you know how energy works, you know that there's power, a purpose, a direction, a frequency, and that gives you information. The question is, okay, you want to learn the language or not? Do you want to be aware? So addressing some of the things that we talked about here earlier, when we talked about self-sabotage, the big question before this broadcast was, why do I sabotage myself? Why do I do that? I don't want to, but I do it. Why do I do things that I know that aren't good for me? And why do I not do things that I know are good for me? What the heck's going on? That's the good question that everybody's trying to answer. Your question got answered today because you're energetically aware, because you're not aware of the energies that are moving inside you and what their direction, what their purpose, and what their frequency is. So what you start to learn in studying energy awareness training is you start to learn, okay, I know I can see how things work now, or I'm beginning to see how they work. Now let me get them into alignment with what I'm doing. And let me use that. Let me use the energy. It's like the energy is like the wind. You can just stand out there and watch the wind go by. Oh, it's a windy day, huh? Great. Or you can use the wind to power a sailboat, or you can use the wind to create wind tunnels, to create new energies and electricity, etc. The energy is all around you. What are you going to do with it? So this has kind of like been an overview of what I wanted to give you to awaken you. Okay. Now, in energy awareness training, there's there's a lot to it because I cover every gamut of how the energy works in your health, in your game, in your career, in your awareness, in your spiritual awareness. You know, another thing that I could mention to you, because everybody wonders, is there a God? Is there a spirituality? Sometimes you think there is, sometimes you don't think there is. You know, what does it mean to be spiritual? Does that mean that I got to be a monk and live in a temple, or can I connect to this? Well, all of that is cleared up in energy awareness training, because what we do is we throw out the beliefs. We don't do anything in energy training that's not backed up by science, either science or your own experience. And that's why you guys are listening to me right now, because I'm ringing the bell. All of you have had this experience. I've had this experience. It's a universal metaphor that universal truth. It's a universal path that every man travels on. You have to go through these things in order to develop. And so much of our training, you know, spiritual training, manhood training, game training, has been haphazard. You get here, you get a little bit of here, you get a little bit of here, and we're trying to scrape it together. But what I've done is I put together a system to understand. It's kind of like a theory of everything, to understand what we're doing here, how the processes work, where we've been, where we're going, and how to have our best life, and how to be happy, joyous, and fulfilled right here, right now. And you can be, and you need nothing. You need no woman, you need no money, you need no power, you need nothing in order to have the connection to true fulfillment and happiness right here and right now. Now, what's cool about that is that when you are happy, when you are content, when you are powerful right here, right now, then that other stuff starts to come in. And it comes in easier because you're not stressed about it. Okay? Why aren't you being able to produce the results you've been wanting so far? Because you've been stressed about it. Now, what does anxiety and stress do in your body? Remember, think about the garden hose. Remember when you were a kid, you had a garden hose and you put your finger on there and you're playing with water? Okay. The water, in order to get water, that water's got to flow from one place to another, right? So if that water stops flowing, if you put a kink in that hose, that water stops flowing. And then what's left? Can't get any water out. Game over. So to give you another example, our energies are either flowing, expanding, moving in high vibrational energy, or they're blocked, they're stuck, they're constricted in low vibration energy. Anxiety, fear, stress, worry, all of that is stuck energy. And energy has to keep moving if it's going to be healthy. So let's take the example of water. If I have a cup of water here and I pour the water in and I leave this cup here for 3 weeks, what's going to happen to that water? It's going to get dirty. You're not going to drink it. There'll probably be bugs in there. Why? Because the water didn't move. However, when you, for example, go see a river, the water's flowing. Okay, when water is flowing, when water flows, it gets clean. Why? Because it's moving. So that's why I say nothing changes until energy moves. So no matter what it is that you want to be, no matter what you want to do, no matter what it is you want to have, you ain't going to do it unless you move the energy. Don't think about it. You've got to move the energy. So this is a whole new paradigm of dealing with this. And this is my favorite subject to talk about it. I could talk about it for hours, but I just want to give you this little chunk here to those of you who I'm ringing your bell. I want to encourage you to study energy awareness training. Now, I teach it. We have a company, Energy Awareness Training, that teaches you either in personal coaching with me or one of my coaches. We have online programs. We have all kinds of stuff to teach you. But I only want to teach people who are serious Okay, it's a difference. A lot of people would like to improve their lives. They like to get a better girl. They like to get in shape. But you feel that energy, it's sucky. What makes things happen? People who are focused going, I remember when I said, I got to learn this now, man. I don't want to suffer anymore. I don't want to chase my tail. I don't want to sabotage myself. I want to learn this, and I want to learn it now. And I went on the road, so to speak, to put everything aside until I became energetically aware. And now you guys can do the same thing too. So with that, I'm going to take a little water break. And anybody who's got any questions, we'll do the Q&A here, and then we'll end with a cool energy exercise that will help you out. Okay, so water, Dante, you want to come back here and facilitate?
Yeah, what would you like me to do?
Let's just take some questions here.
If you guys want to ask Glenn anything related to self-sabotage, emotional pain, emotional suffering, whatever your biggest sticking point right now, your biggest problem is.
Yeah, or anything you want to ask. I'm going to take Q&A here for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to end the session here with an exercise that will help you dissolve any stress and anxiety and get your energy centered. Okay, so questions. Raise your hand.
Caesar, if you want to unmute.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to take. Okay. I'll go ahead and do this. Okay, Dennis, go ahead.
Okay, I'll go first. All right. So yeah, I did have a question. First question was with what kind of book? You held a book before, and I think I recognized it. It was the Eye of the Eye, I think,
yes,
or something like that. Was that the Richard Dawkins book?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard about these books. Would you
I wouldn't recommend it. I'm going over this book with my level 10 students. There's 10 levels of energy awareness training. To read this book before you get energetically trained is a complete waste of time. I wouldn't even recommend it. But if you had the training, because what he talks about, he's talking about high levels of consciousness. And when you read this, there's no thinking. There's no seer. There's only the beer. There's an infinite connection with all things. You are one, and there's no thinker. All that stuff's going to do is just go, what? No thinker? What? The eye of the eye of the eye. And here's the thing. I'm glad you asked this question, Dennis, because this low vibration energy that we're talking about that wants to sabotage us, wants to block our good, it primarily, its number one weapon against you is to get you into your head. If it can get you into your head thinking, it's got you. Because when you're in your head thinking, no energy is moving. It's just the thought going round and round and round. And every time those thoughts go round and round, the LVE starts pulling you down. See, its job is to pull you down. It's to pull you down into anxiety, fear, worry, stress. That's its job. And that's what it uses to pull you down. So if it can get you thinking, for example, if you guys ever been through heartbreak, or we all have, man, that is torture. You love some girl and she leaves you and you're not ready for it. It's the greatest pain in the world. And where is that pain? Well, it's in your body, but it's in your mind. And the LVE goes, why did she leave me? Why didn't it work out? Why wouldn't she give me another chance? I'll never find another girl like that. Round and round. And that's that's called emotional suffering. And there's no method out in the world that I'm aware of besides energy awareness training that dealing with the fallout from a broken heart or heartbreak or grief or loss. Talk about needing to be aware. You better have energy training skills before you experience that, or you're going to suffer like we all have. It's like learning how to swim. Better to learn how to swim before somebody throws you overboard on a boat, right? The time to learn to swim is not when you're in the water drowning. That's not a good time to learn how to swim. The best time to learn how to swim is before it happens. And I can guarantee you, one thing for all of us. We're all going to be faced with challenges in life. We're all going to have times, and you already have. All of us have gone through challenges in life, and that's what life does. It throws us challenges. It turns us upside down, and you better have the skills to deal with it. If you have the skills to deal with it, you can escape it. Listen to what I'm saying. You can escape it. You have a great relationship. Remember the law of duality, guys, especially when it comes to women. If you have a woman that you meet and she makes you so happy and you feel so fulfilled and it's the best you've ever had and you're so glad you have it and you want it every day, in the law of duality, if she can make you happy, if she can make you that happy, she can also make you what?
Sad.
That's right. The opposite way. She can take you down. She can make you miserable. She can make you suffer like you never had before. And it's really not her. It's you. It's the way that you perceive what's happening to you and how the energies are working. Now, here's a tip that I want to give you. When we go through upset emotion, it's like a heartbreak, for example. What does heartbreak trigger? Heartbreak triggers loss. Heartbreak triggers rejection. Heartbreak triggers us unworthiness or unlovability. And every time you've ever felt that in your life, it's like a chain reaction. Bam. All the way through. So that's why people go nuts when they have breakups. They get depressed, they get on drugs, they become alcoholics, they think about suicide, because your whole system energetically is out of whack. And I've been through heartbreak many times, and I'm telling you, it's the worst pain in the world, as you know. So what I've developed energy awareness training to do is to nuke that by about 90%. Okay, 90% of the pain and the emotions that you go through, the suffering, can be eliminated. The 10% is going to still be there to remind you not to make that same mistake again. So you need that 10%. But the 90%, you don't need it. There's no need for you to suffer like you did. I had one girl, one of the best gals I ever had, she left me. I'll tell you the story. It's simple. This is a time in my life when I had one of the biggest successes I ever had. I was one of the youngest executives in this company here in Orange County, making tons of money. I was on top of the world. You name it. The jet set lifestyle, yachts, big parties, cash. I had a beachfront condo right here in Malibu. I mean, it was great. And I was attracting chicks, like bees to honey. And I found one that I really wanted. This is the best one. And I thought, wow, this girl I'm going to marry, this is great. She's wonderful. She's made me so happy. I've never been fulfilled. And then the company went out of business. We hit a recession, and I lost it all. It just went away. The company dissolved. Income went away. Condo went away. And what happened? My energy shifted. And she didn't leave me right away. But because I wasn't the same guy that she fell in love with, I was the guy, who was conquering the world, a rich guy, the youngest executive. Now I was just another, unemployed 28-year-old. Who was trying to, get his ducks together. The energy changed, and the energy changed her, and she ended up going, I'm not feeling it anymore. I'm not feeling it. And slowly I could feel her going farther away and farther away and farther away. And what did I do? Back then, before I was energetically aware, I held on to it. I chased it. I said, no, baby, we'll make it work. Just give me another chance. Feel the energy? Okay, that wasn't the strong, tough, on top of the world energy. This was the energy that she was attracted to, but this is the energy which is just turns chicks off like, a turd in a punch bowl. Just like, get out of here. And it went away. And it took me 3 years to get over that. 3 years. And actually, it was 3 years before I was able to really function, because I loved her that much. And I thought, well, if she doesn't want me, well, I guess I'll never get the girl I want, etc. You guys have versions of that story. But you know what? If I was energetically aware, 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, bing, I'm healed and I'm ready to go. You got to go through the process of separation. It's not a magic wand, but you don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer. And that's the point I wanted to make. Dennis, did I answer your question?
Yes. Thank you for answering my question. Very great answer. Thank you.
It was a long answer, but I think it made the point.
Oh, wonderful. The more, the better.
Hey, Glenn. Ivan asks, what's each level of the energy awareness training program for? Why is there 10 levels?
There's 10 levels of the training because there's so much material that I have to teach. Now you don't have to do all 10 levels, but who wouldn't want to do it? I mean, wouldn't you want to have the secrets of how women work? I have a whole module on dating, women, and sex. And it's kind of like the same vibe you're getting right now. You got to know the hidden energies of how women work. You got to know the frequencies they're on, and you got to know how you relate to that and the whole sex energy. I'll tell you this right now, guys. If you're going to be the man that you want to be and you want to move into this world in your full potential, you've got to handle your sex energy. And I don't know any other place that shows you how to handle your sex energy from an energy point of view than the work that I do, because I had to handle it myself. We all got to handle, this energy that drives us nuts. In fact, that's the number one way that the low vibration energy screws up your life and throws a monkey wrench into you. It gets you to when that energy, and it's an energy that captivates you. It's like you're hypnotized sometimes. This energy is a power over you. And if you don't know, you don't recognize that power, or you let that power control you, in relationships, or you let the sex drive control your behavior, your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, you're going to suffer. So if you look in the media, look at all the guys who are suffering. You name it. Harvey Weinstein, Les Moonves, the guy who's on the chairman of CBS, Charlie Rose, TV guys, all these guys, sports guys, all these guys, they can't handle their sex energy, so they make mistakes, and it blows up in their face and it wrecks their lives. We can see it here. We had the governor of New York, the biggest states in the United States. The guy was the governor, the chief law enforcement officer, with a married and a beautiful wife and kids, but he couldn't handle his sex energy. So he was sleeping with hookers and had a whole double life to feed that energy. And remember what I taught you: whatever energy you're in is gonna lead you in that direction. So when you're in a high vibration energy, you're going to be happier. When you're in low vibration energy, you're going to get maybe an immediate hit, but then you're going to suffer. So it's like addiction, for example. Nobody becomes an alcoholic on one drink, or nobody becomes a heroin addict on the first shot. But what happens is, over and over, you start doing it over and over again. Now that's an energy you're connecting to that has a power, that has a purpose, that has a direction, that has a frequency, and that's giving you information. And if you're energetically aware, you'll be able to see, oh, I drink every time I'm stressed. That's low vibration energy. And if I continue doing that, I'm going to suffer. Oh, this girl, while she's great in bed, is whacked out and got tons of problems. And if I continue doing this, I'm going to suffer, God forbid. Same thing with investments, same things with careers, etc. You got to know that the world will tell you the right thing to do if you're energetically aware. Okay, if you're energetically aware, you'll be able to know. But if you're not, it's like walking blindfold into a minefield. Maybe you'll luck out, maybe you won't. So this is why there's 10 levels of energy awareness training. And that's in the online classes. And what I do in my personal coaching is I tailor make this to you, because some of you got pressing problems that you got to deal with now. You got a situation that is bugging you, with the anxiety, the stress, or something that you need help with, and you need help with now. Well, in my personal coaching, what I do is I tailor this information so that we can deal with your pressing problem immediately, and get you out of that, out of that urgent situation. And then what people do, well, wow, this helped me in my self-image, or in my addictions, or maybe it's going to help me in others. So this is basically the process of life, of teaching you. At least there's 10 levels of modules that I go to. There's all kinds of training I give you, techniques that I show you on how to move energy, on how to go to higher states of consciousness, how to be more aware, I have specific tools which I call EPR. You're going to hear that a lot. EPR, what is that? Energetic processing and releasing. All of us here, before you become energetically aware, have tons and tons of LVE stored in our body. And that LVE comes from our past pain, our past traumas, but it also comes from other places. This life isn't the only place where you got it. Now, if you believe in past lives, it could come from a past life, but scientifically, in the new science of epigenetics, you can prove now that you can transfer emotional pain, anxiety, stress, worry, fear. You can transfer emotions as well as physical genetics from your heredity, from your ancestors, from your grandparents and their grandparents before you. So a lot of this is a lot of what awakening is the ability to be able to clean yourself and to be able to get that junk out. It's like moving into a new apartment. You can't put the new furniture in the apartment until you get the old stuff out. So you got to spend some time getting that old stuff out of there and cleaning the place before you're going to put the new furniture in. So cleaning, clearing, and cleansing are self-sabotage patterns, our low vibration energies is a big part of energy awareness training. And there are 10 different components to that. Okay, answers that question. Any other questions? Going once.
Yeah, Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, so I actually had a really similar experience to what you're talking about this week.
Who is this? Who is this? Who's speaking?
Steve.
Steve. Okay, let me find you, Steve. Steve, where's Steve? Where'd he go? All right. Is that you, Galaxy? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Keep talking.
All right. So I went to the clubs this week, and I was like severely stifled for like 2 days fully. And then I think I woke up one day, and I guess your energy changes as you sleep. Mm-hmm. And I thought about it, and I kind of just like disassociated from it. And I actually went into like kind of like a compulsion of laughter for about 10 minutes. And I just laughed at myself straight for 10 minutes, and that completely changed my energy. And I think it kind of relates to what you're saying about blockages.
Yeah, that's one of the tools that we teach. There's many of them. There's almost 100 different ways that you can create high vibrational energy, and that's one of them. The fortunate thing is you feel better and you changed your energy. But there's different types of energy that you need to be aware of. There's the temporary energy. So if you're kind of in a funk and you laugh at yourself, or you do any of the techniques I train you, you can dissipate that daily or that energy that you're dealing with at the moment. There's another level of energy which is stronger and has a more of an effect, which is your regularly occurring energy. Now, regularly occurring energy is when maybe you got a situation at work that's bugging you, that's ongoing, or maybe you've got a pattern with your girlfriend. You don't know if you should break up or you should be with her, And it's something that's an ongoing stress pattern that brings off anxiety. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3 is your deep set historical low vibration energy. And this is the key factor of whether you're going to be happy in life or not. In other words, get what you want. Because the historical low vibration energy, and I'll do another class on this, but in a nutshell, that's the 90%. Remember I talked to you about the iceberg? 10% above the water, 90% below the water. Well, the 10% is our waking consciousness energy that says, oh, I'm hungry, I'm go get a hamburger. Or I'm kind of stressed now, I'll go get a massage. In other words, you're dealing with the 10% stuff going on that you can change. But the stuff in the 90%, especially at the historical level, that's tough to change. That doesn't go easily. And even though you might feel better about it, the work that I do, I always test, and you can test to see if that stuff's gone. And it usually takes a good amount of effort to be able to do that. That's why I work with people privately to be able to monitor that, because it's virtually impossible to deal with it on your own. You know, it's like you know, you need to have your appendix out. Well, you're not going to operate on yourself, even if you're a doctor, right? You just, you know, the deeps. You can, if you got a cut, you can treat your own cut or something. But if you need surgery, man, you better get somebody else to do it. You're not going to do it. And this is what I do in my private coaching sessions, and they're supplemented by the online work that we do, and leading you to become more expensive. Man, I'm having you guys drink out of a fire hose right now. I'm giving you so much information. Okay, I know that, but I know some of it's going to stick, and I think you're gonna understand that. Does that make sense to you, Steve?
Yeah, I think the funk like originated from like trying to deal with the low vibration energy by myself, and I think maybe like, is there a difference between indulging in it and releasing it?
Yeah. Well, first off, you have to understand that this energy wants to control you. And there's an active energy that wants to control your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions. So if it can get you thinking, if it can get you, you know, thinking low vibration energy thoughts, worry, doubt, fear, if it can get you feeling insecure or doubtful, if it can create behaviors that more fear or worry, it's got to control. So this energy is active, and it approaches you all the time. You know, it comes to you all every day. It delivers like the pizza man.
Yeah.
Every day it shows up and going, low vibration energy delivery, let me in. I'm here to mess you up today. I'm here to screw up your life. Now,
every day
you can open the door if it's low vibration energy. So what it has to do, it has to be covert. And the low vibration energy can hack into your thoughts. You ever have whacked out thoughts? You go, how can I think something? That's a whacked out thought. How could I even think of something so weird? Boy, I hope nobody knows that I had that thought, man. They think I'm a freaking weirdo, pervert, or wacko. Better keep it a secret. Those aren't your thoughts. Those are the thoughts of the LVE. But why we suffer is because we think that the LVE's thoughts are our thoughts. So we think, oh man, do this? Oh, that's illegal. Oh, I don't want anybody to know I'm doing that. I'll give you an example. I was in Manhattan a couple years ago, and I was visiting a friend of mine who lived on the 68th floor. He had a penthouse on the 68th floor in New York City on the east side. So we go out to the terrace, and he has this nice terrace that you can look out on the city. So I go out into the terrace, and man, it's high up there. And I'm looking down, I'm holding on, and I'm looking down, and all of a sudden I hear a voice inside of me that says, jump, jump. And this voice said, jump? I go, jump? What do you mean jump? If I jump, I'll kill myself. I don't want to jump. Whose thought is that? Who's trying to control me? Where'd that whacked out thought come from? Son of a bitch, go away, right? I'm talking to myself going, son of a bitch, go away. But that's how crazy this is. That's how these energies try to control you. if you think about it, you don't have to share it, but whatever your bad habit is, whatever your addiction is, a lot of guys are addicted to porn. A lot of guys are addicted to alcohol or pot or eating or movies or video games. It's got a power over you, man, and you can't resist it. It's just what is that? It's something outside yourself has a power over you that you're helpless to deal with. And that's what addiction is. That's why people in addiction never solve their addictions on their own. They go and get help because they need something, an energy outside their head, outside of what they're doing, to be able to deal with it, to be able to process it. Without that, you just keep going down, 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 down. Okay? Great question, Steve. All right, let's move on a couple more, and then we're going to conclude.
Hey, Glenn.
Adolfo, you had a question? Hold on. Adolfo, you had a question?
Yes, Glenn. Hi. Thank you. By the way, thank you for the content. Amazing stuff. I was taking a lot of notes.
Good.
But in my question, my particular question is to be more relatable to other guys. So let's say that we wake up and by the end of the day, we have a really important event, which in my case is sales calls with clients. I'm usually anxious for the whole day thinking about it because, if I make the sale, I'll get way more money in my bank account. And if I don't, I don't know how much, So is there any tool that can help me with that? Is there anything that you would recommend to deal with this situation better?
Yes. First off, that is a great question, and the answer to that could take up the whole class. But let me give you something to recognize. You guys notice the more we want something, the more we get messed up about it. Girls are a great example. If you see a girl that's cute, attractive, not beautiful, but cute or attractive, your stress level of wanting her is kind of low, but she's cute, so you go over and talk to her, right? If you're looking for a girlfriend or trying to date. But if you see a girl coming over that is smoking hot, that's a supermodel, that's just got a face and a body that just grabs you hold of you, you're like, whoa, I'd love to have that. I want that so much. I gotta have it. What does your energy do? Your energy sabotages you. It goes against you. Now, primarily, now, if you're a master of game or you've learned about it, you can overcome that. But I'm talking initially for the average guy. What happens? And actually, even for the top guys in game, it happens to them. You're like, whoa, what happens? The more you want something, and wanting or desire is an energy. So those of you who ever heard this quote, the Buddha, one of the wisest men who ever lived, said, desire is the root of all suffering. Desire is the root of all suffering? What does that mean? That mean I can't desire anything? Does that mean I can't want anything? Well, if you look at the definition of want in the dictionary, wanting, he was left wanting. Wanting is another name for lacking, for not having it. And that's an energy. That's a low vibration energy, wanting, needing it. I gotta have it. I want it so much. Oh, please, if I could only have it. You feel that energy? As opposed to allowing yourself, instead of moving in a strong vibratory frequency, to be able to allow yourself to have it and to be okay if you have it or you don't have it. So this is one of the things that I teach in the courses, you guys, is of course, you have a certain outcome that you want. Okay, of course, if you're making a sales call, of course, you want it to be successful. You're making an approach, you want it to be successful too. But you have to come from a high vibrational energy that doesn't care that there's a point where you're going to be fine if they say yes or they say no. That my identity and my well-being isn't connected to a yes or a no. And that's a high vibrational energy. And this is what I'm talking about to be able to navigate. The low vibration energy says, I got to make this sale, man. I got to get that money. or I got to get her phone number because if I don't, I won't feel good. Okay, that's wanting, that's lacking, that's neediness, and that's low vibration energy. And what does low vibration energy create more of, guys? Low vibration energy. So one of the tools, and I can tell you about it. It takes some time for me to train you how to get there. But I'll just give you the tip, and I'll show you a tool, a real quick tool as we end the session here in a few minutes. When I'm in a high vibrational energy, it's not about me. It's not me. See, low vibration energy is me. What can it do for me? What can I get out of it? What am I going to get? Me. You know, you ever around people who are me? You know, they're takers. They're just takers. And nobody wants to be around a taker. How about some of the girls you date? They'll take your food, they'll take your jewelry, they'll take your money. You know, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for me? It's low vibration energy, which creates more low vibration energy. The energy of high vibration energy, see, and this is why it's important to be able to read energies and know what they are, is an open energy, a flowing energy, an energy of how can I help you? How can I be of service to you? What can I do for you? Because sharing and being of service and helping people is a very high vibrational energy, right? If we think of the people that we honor most in the world, you know, Nelson Mandela, for example, or Gandhi or Martin Luther King, people like that, what are they? They're givers. They just want to give. They want to help people. They want to move humanity forward. So when you're coming from that place, and I teach you how to do that every day to put you in a place of high vibrational energy, then when you go and make your calls, of course, there's a part of you that is doing your job and that wants to make the call, but there's another part of you that knows you're okay. Whether it happens or it's not, you're going to do fine. And that's the same thing that you're taught in game. When you approach a woman and you're needy, you're like, oh, please like me. Please approve of me. Please give me your phone number. They're like, get away from me, you worm. Right? It's a total turnoff. That's low vibration energy. Who do they like? They like the guys who are confident. They like the guys who go, baby, you know, if you're with me, great. If you're not with me, great. You know, you give me your number, great. You don't give me your number, great. You know, it's all good, whatever. They're like, whoa. They're actually pushing me away. They don't need it. And this is the law of opposites, what I taught you guys today. Because they don't need it, because they can take it or leave it, there's an attraction. It's because you pushed it away, you created the attraction. But when you ran after it, when you needed to have it, it ran away from you. You with me? Is this ringing your bell a little bit?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. It's kind of like reframing it as if I'm like just there to offer value and helping them from what I could understand. Yeah, it really helped out. Thanks a lot.
Yes. You're well. That's great. Now, here's the thing. It's not just the thought. In energy awareness training, it's not just a thought. Okay? That's what a lot of guys do. Well, okay, I'll make my sales call and I'll think that I'm being of service. Yeah, that I'm doing them a favor. Okay, that's what I'll think. Well, remember the iceberg? 10% above the water, 90% below the water. So your 10% is thinking, okay, I'll be of service. But if you're not feeling that, if you haven't taken away that neediness or that obsessive compulsiveness or that fear that you're not going to make the sale, then you got 90%, which is still pulling you in the old energy, and the 10% is just a thought. So remember what I said, you guys, nothing changes until energy moves. You've got to move the energy and be in the place, in the actual energy field of high vibration energy to get a high vibration energy result. So that's why in our trainings, we spend so much time getting you into high vibrational energy so that high vibration energy will be natural, so that whatever you do will, you know, whether it's business, making the sales calls, with the girls, with the company, with the way you feel about yourself. So you're in a high vibratory frequency. Control your frequency, you control your life. Okay, I'll take one more question and then thank you. Oh, you're glad you got that. One more question. If I can have a drink of water. Oh, Dante, thank you about Caesar. Caesar says, my question is, how can I sit back and stop trying to control my thoughts, which leads me to stop feeling? I also identify with my thoughts 70 to 80% of the week. Is Caesar here? Caesar, you here? Still on the call?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, Glenn. So I grew up in a family where I had to please in order to survive, and I had to surrender to low vibrational energy. And I seem to have a hard time empathizing with people that are in LVE when I am HVE. And when I am HVE, they seem to attack me, and I recognize this pattern. And when they attack me, they trigger me, and they summon a really big reaction out of me, and then that completely changes me, and I start identifying with my thoughts, and I sort of not accept myself fully, and I end up in ego mode. And I don't know how I can view them in order not to be triggered.
Okay. Guys, listen very carefully to what Caesar's telling you about. This is a clear example of what I've taught today. He's getting hit by low vibration energy from other people. Okay, and he's asking me the question, how can I think about this differently so it doesn't affect me? Well, Caesar's a smart guy. Okay, and if there was a way for him to think about this differently, he would have thought about it. So if I tell him, well, Caesar, just project love to all the people who are bugging you and just wish them the best. That's all you have to do. And think of love and peace, and everything will work out. How would you like that for an answer, Caesar?
I think that's exactly what I needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to tell you that'll work for about 1 minute until they start banging on you again, and then you're back to square one. This is, and I wish I could give you all the benefits of the training here, in one broadcast. But what I can do, and I'll give you guys, a gift here, a parting gift here, just in a second. But you've got to change your energy. You've got to recognize that there's low vibration energy all around us, guys. All around it. We got to deal with it every day. Some people got to deal with it more than others. Some people live in low vibration energy. But the key thing is you've got to be able to disconnect from the low vibration energy. It's not enough to think about it. It's to be able to guard yourself and move your energy out. So what I would say to you now, I'll explain, and I'll go over this in a second, the exercise. You have to recognize that when there's low vibration energy around you, you want to get away from it. You don't want to hang around. You don't want to engage it. If you engage, it's like a girl. When you have an argument with a girlfriend, has this ever happened to you guys? She says something and you're 100% right. She's got the wrong idea. So you try to explain it to her and you go, no, baby, that ain't the way it is. This is the way. You're not making any sense. And they're going, yes, I am. You're not listening to me. I go, yeah, but you're not making any sense. It's logical. Blah, blah, blah. And you try to explain the logic, and she gets more pissed and more pissed and more pissed. Finally, it just goes crazy. Why? Because if you engage in low vibration energy, what are you going to connect to? What are you going to get more of? Low vibration energy. That's not what you want. You've got to be able to learn to recognize danger zones. Like, for example, you guys all know about ISIS. Well, even though they're on the decline right now, when they were really strong, if you walked into ISIS territory, if that town was run by ISIS, and you walked into an ISIS town, what do you think is going to happen to you? Those guys are going to grab you and they're going to torture you and kill you, God forbid. Now, even though you're a nice guy and you say to them, hey, I'm just passing through here. Can you tell me how do I get to Baghdad? No harm, no foul. I'm a nice guy. Can you be a nice guy to me? What are they going to do? They're going to go, shut the F up, and they're going to grab you and tie you up and torture you. And that's what happens. That's what you get when you're around low vibration energy. You're going to get nothing but more negativity and low vibration energy. So you want to spot that energy, and you want to be able to disconnect from it. If it's a person, a place, a thing, you want to disconnect, get away from it, be polite, go ahead, thanks for and withdraw. Now, that's for low vibration energy that's happening outside yourself. The low vibration energy that's happening inside yourself, you got to learn how to deal with it. Okay, and I'm going to give you a cool tool here in a second. So, Caesar, hope that helps.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Just a quick last question, if you may. In regards to superiors, what if your superior at work is in LVE and you sort of have to engage with him or her?
Okay, that's a great question. So in the training, one of the things I teach you over and over again is if you're in any kind of LVE situations, you got to get out of it because you're only going to get more LVE. Now, if you got to deal with someone for a little while, then you got to recognize every time you interact with them, danger, danger, danger. You got to see the red light going off, and you got to be careful. You got to be polite. You got to answer what they want, and then get out, and then withdraw. And don't be rude. But if you got a superior that's banging, that's causing you a lot of strife, that's a message, either for you to change your energy or to change your energy and your location at the same time. Okay, so you never want to put up with any situations where people are abusing you. That is not cool. And if you do, you're going to suffer big time. A lot of people sell themselves out for money. Oh, I'll do this. I know it's low vibration energy, but I'm doing it for the money. Money's not going to be worth it. It's not worth it for your energy to plummet and expose yourself to low vibration energy. So I would start thinking about getting another job or working another shift or doing something. Remember, nothing changes until energy moves. So guys, let's move this energy and find another way. And in the training, I show you all kinds of ways to do this. I'm trying to, when you study energy awareness training, you can answer your own questions about this. But since you haven't, I'm answering it for you. Okay? Hope that helps, Caesar.
Thank you very much, Glenn.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. All right. Everybody, was there one last question that I didn't answer?
Glenn.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Alex.
Alex. Okay, let me find you.
We had an exchange this week.
There you are. Alex. Can't see you, man.
No, I'm sorry. My camera's turned off. It's on my iPhone. It's not working. Yeah, we talked together on Facebook Messenger this week.
Yes, Alex.
Yes,
did you learn something today?
I learned a lot. And I've got a quick question because it's something that I've been struggling on for several years. And it's happening again and again. I went through a heartbreak in June, and something that always plagued my relationship is I've got a lack of self-esteem where I always find myself.
Hold on 1 second. Everybody please mute yourself because I can barely hear them. Somebody's walking around with their computer. Please mute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you better.
Okay, cool. So I've always been plagued in my relationships with, I've went through a 10-year relationship. I've got 2 kids right now, and I'm going through I went through that heartbreak in June, and you know, I'm getting better, and your work has just inspired me. You know, everything came together when I found what you're doing. You know, with years and years of reading books and Tony Robbins and letting go and Eckhart Tolle and whatever, and what you do is the string that always, you know, the missing link. And I thank you so much, because you're doing God's work, and whatever we believe in, I think it's amazing, and I can really feel it. You know, the mornings that I do your exercises, I just shine, and I get so many compliments by so many people. But now I'm with this girl, which is amazing, you know. But that old self-esteem issue comes back, where even though I was with a lot more women than she was with men, I keep getting in that loop of being jealous of her past. Like was she in better relationships than I am for her, and now that I have kids, she doesn't, this and that, and it throws me in the loop where it puts me in guard, and I can't like express myself. So my question is that LV, is that me sending a signal to myself that she's not good for me, or am I the one creating this shit with LVE in my head? You know, that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. So how does it feel to feel these thoughts? How does it feel?
Yeah, it's anger, it's doubt, it's feeling like I'm it's feeling like she's compromising to be with me. Like I'm not good enough to be with her. Like she must be lying to me. There's something that is not true in her intention. It's all that doubt. You're not good enough for her. Why would she be like with a guy like you? You know, she's amazing. She's good looking. You know, she has so many other options. You know, you're this and that. So, but Glenn, in all honesty, my life is in order. You know, I have an amazing career. I own my house. I have, you know, I'm in shape. I've got everything going on for me, but I'm always plagued with that fucking I'm sorry for the language, with that self-doubt and always questioning myself. Am I good enough for that person? You know, did she and I keep it to myself, because I don't want to bring that energy in the relationship, you know, by talking to her. But I know that at some point, that's what she's probably going to feel it at some point, you know, because energy travels from one human being to the other, you know?
Yes, you have. So let's go over that you don't like in other words, those anger and jealousy and resentment, all that. What kind of energy is that? Is that high vibration or low vibration?
That's low vibration.
You bet it is. And what's low vibration going to bring you more of?
More low vibration. And since I'm in that loop, Glenn, it's stupid little things, but bad luck happening left and right. You know, when I'm in the flow, when I'm in that high vibration, everything flows to me. And now when I get thrown in that loop, it's like stupid things starts to go wrong all around, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is an example of what I told you. When you study energy awareness training, it's like doing an energetic cleanse. You got to cleanse yourself of that. You got a pattern. You've got an energy inside you that, because of what happened to you, is telling you you're not worthy, or you're not good enough, or you're going to lose her, or this is going to screw up. And that voice is so real to you, because it's saying, well, look what happened to your marriage. Huh?
It's a parasite.
Look what happened to the last girl you had. See, that's evidence that you're screwed up and that you're going to lose this one too.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's like you're in my head.
That's right. That's right. And the only way to deal with that is to get serious about your energy awareness training, man, and to start doing this stuff. That's why I do this work that I do. You know, if I could give you a magic wand and say, be healed, I'd do it. But this work is about freeing yourself from your past. This work is about getting the rocks and the devils and the demon, all that stuff out of your head, and cleaning and clearing your energy so that you're at a high vibratory level. I don't know if you heard Rasmus in the beginning. He's an advanced student of mine. His whole life changed. Maybe you couldn't understand his Danish, but he's a great guy, and he's a very humble guy, and he's a championship badminton player in Denmark. And he had the same thing going on. He had the voices telling him, it's not safe this, I'm going to screw this up, I'm going to do that. And those voices don't go away until you learn specific methods on how to on how to dissolve that and take back your energy. And that's one of the first things I show you in coaching is the ability to take back your energy. Man, you got to, this is the way it is, guys. Either you control your energy or the energy controls you. That's all it is. Either you control your energy and you know how to go into high vibrational energy, or you go, oh, this is interesting, but I don't think I'm going to pursue. Okay, great. That's what the LVE wants to hear. You go, yeah, forget that energy awareness training baloney. You don't need it. Just listen to me. I'll tell you what to do. And tomorrow, so tomorrow morning, fresh torment, fresh suffering, fresh anxiety coming your way from the LVE. So that's it, guys. You're either going to get it and do the training and advance yourself and move out of this hole you're in, or you're not going to. And some people, what happens is a lot of times when I do workshops like this or webinars, when I did the RSD summit, a lot of guys came talk to me and they go, I'm really interested in what you're saying, but I'm in school right now, or I'm just getting married and I don't have the money for it right now, or I think maybe in a couple of years I'll do it. I said, that's great, whatever works for you. And then they come back a year later in torment and going, oh my gosh, I had no idea I was going to be suffering the way I'm suffering now. If only I had listened to you a year ago or 2 years ago, I wouldn't have suffered. Sign me up. I had a guy call me a couple of months ago, a guy that he heard me speak. And he said, and I was telling him a little bit about the sex energies and about women and how things work. And he's going, man, that sounds good. I need to learn that one of these days. But I'm really in the game right now and chasing women and having a good time. So, when I get older, I think I'll study energy awareness training. I says, okay, up to you, man. Get rid of your suffering now, or suffer and get rid of it later. Whatever you want to do. And people think I'm being facetious, but I'm not. So anyway, the guy goes down last year. He goes down to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, right? And he's going, I'm going to party. I want to be free. I don't want to think of anything. I just want to enjoy. What ends up happening? The guy, his second night there, goes into a bar, gets loaded, meets a girl at closing time who invites him back to her place. She immediately, and so he goes back to her place and she says, why don't you take a shower so I make sure you're clean before we do it. So he goes and takes a shower in this room, which is like a hotel room. She grabs his phone, she grabs his keys, and she grabs his wallet and rips the guy off. And the guy comes out of the shower and he's all, where did she go? And to make matters worse, the guy that he was supposed to pay for the room says, hey, I need my $80 for the room tonight. Oh, you already signed up for the room. You owe me $80. He goes, she took my wallet. I don't know what to do about it. And he goes, dude, if you don't pay me, I'm calling the cops. He goes, but she took my wallet. He goes, the cops came, arrested the guy. He had to spend the night in jail, right? He had to spend the night in jail, and he had to have his parents wire him money to get out, to come back. It was a freaking nightmare. So the guy comes back Monday, calls me, and he goes, Glenn, I want to sign up for coaching right now, man. I see the light. I said, well, okay, man. I told you about this a couple of months ago, but you weren't ready then. So you had to go through what you had to go through. So that's the metaphor that I get for you guys. You got to learn energy awareness tools if you're going to overcome the negativity, the stress, the inner traumas, the inner demons that are trying to, it's a metaphor, but the energies that are trying to pull you down. You got to have the skills to be able to pull it up. It's not what to think. You got to use the tools to be able to get there. And that's what I'm offering you guys. And I'm all about making sure that people get this. I do a lot of free stuff. I'm constantly doing, trying to help people, and, I do videos and guest lectures and all this stuff. But it boils down to, you got to make the decision. Am I going to become energetically aware and overcome all the crap and the shit I've been through in my life? Or am I going to put it off and just keep living like everybody else is and hope good things happen? Okay, up to you. It's your choice. And I hope you choose wisely. Okay, and with that, I'm going to close out this with, I'm going to teach you guys something really cool. Anybody want to learn? You know, I know we've gone a little bit longer than I thought to, and I can end this right now, or I can give you guys an energetic tool to help you guys out. So let me take who wants to know the tool? Raise your hand. Carl, you're the only one I can see, so okay, good. All right, great. Can't see the rest of you guys. All right, first thing that I want you to do is just this. I want you to learn a breath technique because at least this is something for you. It's called an energetic breath. And essentially, remember when I talked to you about energy? Energy's got to keep moving. So like for Alex, if he's stuck in his thoughts, he's constricted in his head, and the energies are torturing him. So what I'm going to have you guys do is everybody sit up in your chair, put your head up, relax your shoulders. Now, just think of that stuff that's bugging you for a minute. Just think about that stuff that, like Alex, for example. Think of those thoughts of, I might be able to lose it. I might lose it. I might not be able to do this. Whatever, every guy take out whatever the thoughts is, the thoughts that you're talking about. Gee, I got to close the sale, man. If I don't close the sale, I'm not going to get it. You know, whatever the thought process is causing you stress, just think about it for a moment. Okay, and just notice how that affects you. I'm just going to give you 10 seconds of silence. Think that thought and notice what happens. Okay, not too pleasant, is it? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have you shift from thinking up here. I want you to shift into your lower body. Okay, so go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to shift into, become aware of the floor underneath your feet. Feel that floor underneath your feet. Feel your hands on your legs, your thighs. Feel your butt in your chair. Become aware of your lower body. Okay, just take a moment and do that. Feel your feet on the floor, your legs, your butt in the chair, your hands on your thighs or your knees. Cool. Now I'm going to lead you in a breath sequence. Okay, and it's a simple breath, but breath moves energy. So if we want to overcome low vibration energy, we've got to move the energy. So this is one of the basic tools, I teach. It's an elementary tool, but it works. So let's use it. So close your eyes. And I want you to tune into the bottom part of your spine. Okay, the bottom part of your spine, or what I call the center point. Just be aware of the bottom part of your spine, your tailbone, that area around the first chakra, if you know that terminology, around the first chakra. And I want you to imagine that your nose is down there, because we're going to be breathing in through the nose. We're going to be breathing out through the mouth. So the way the sequence is going to work is we're going to breathe in through the nose for the count of 6, hold it for the count of 3, and then exhale for the count of 6. Okay, now, but we're going to breathe through the nose, but we're going to visualize that our nose is down at our center point. Why? Because when our energy flows where attention goes. So where you focus, where you have your focus expands energy. So if I have my focus in my head, thinking about, why did you do this? What if this happens? What am I doing? I'm focusing on low vibration energy. What you focus on expands. Do you want to focus on low vibration energy? No. So let's focus on high vibrational energy, but let's focus in a different place. Let's focus on our center point, bottom part of our spine. Let's become aware of our lower body. You can feel the floor underneath your feet. And let's take an energetic breath. I'm going to have you breathe in for the count of 6, hold for the count of 3, exhale for the count of 6. Okay, simple. Inhale through the nose for the count of 6, hold for the count of 3, exhale for the count of 6. Okay, great. Now, at the bottom, when you're exhaling, I want you to get all the air out, and I want you to pause for a moment. I want you to be still for just maybe 5 seconds. I'll guide you on this, because your relationship with silence and what I call being present right here and right now is your ability to be deliriously happy and have the life you want. Your relationship with silence. So most of us, unless you're energy aware, you don't have a relationship with silence. In fact, you want to avoid silence. But one of the reasons why you're tormented in your head is because of the yak thoughts in your head. So we're going to shift now and do this basic exercise, okay? All right, here we go. Close your eyes, feel the floor underneath your feet, put your hands on your legs. Focus on your center point, the bottom part of your spine. Imagine that your nose is there. And let's take a full body energetic breath for the count of 6. Hold for the count of 3. Exhale for the count of 6. Here we go. Begin. Inhale through the nose. 1. Breathe low. 2. 3. Breathe low. 4. 5. Breathe low. 6. Fill up the lungs are there. Hold it for the count of 3. Exhale through the mouth nice and loud. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. The count of 6. Don't shoot your wad. Just don't go shh like that. No. Hold it all the way for the count of 6. Let's do this again. Tune into your center point. Imagine that your nose is there. And let's breathe. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath. Fill up the lungs there. Hold it for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale loudly. Shh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Take a normal breath. Now pause. Be still for a moment. Go into the gap between the thoughts. Okay, let's take another energetic breath. Tune into your center point. Imagine that your nose is there. And breathe. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Breathe low. 4, 5, 6. Fill up the lungs there. Hold it for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale and let go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Good. Get all the air out. Normal breath. Pause. Be still. Be aware. Silence for 5 seconds. Good. Okay. What's happening is we're moving energy. We're moving energy and we're moving it out and moving into this quiet space. And this quiet space is how we accumulate high vibration energy. Because high vibration energy comes to us in this method when we go into the silence. Okay, let's take a couple more. Here we go. Tune into your center point. Imagine that your nose is there. And breathe. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath. Hold for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale and let go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Get all the air out. Pause. Move into the gap between the thoughts. Silence. Stillness. That's right. Okay, one more. Here we go. Tune into your center point. Imagine that your nose is there and breathe. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath. Hold for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Pause for a moment. We're going to pause for 30 seconds. Be still, be aware, breathe normally, and just move into the silence, the gap between the thoughts for 30 seconds, and then we'll conclude. Here we go. Begin. That's right. That's right. That's right. Excellent. Now, I'd like you to think last thing is I want you to think of something you're grateful for. I want you to think of a blessing in your life. I want you to focus on something that you really appreciate. Could be, your business, could be your girlfriend, could be your mother or father, could be your dog, could be your health, whatever it is, just focus on it right now. Pick something, focus on it. And let's take an energetic breath and let's breathe in all the good feelings about that. Let's breathe in all the good feelings about that thing you're grateful for. Here we go. Begin inhale. 1, expand it. 2, expanding. 3, expanding. 4, feeling even better. 5, feeling even better than that. 6, filled with the gratitude and the blessings of what it is that you're grateful for. Hold it for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale and let go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Excellent. And just be aware of that energy, of that blessing, that thing that means the most to you. That represents high vibrational energy to you. We're going to get ready to come back on the count of 5, knowing that energy is moved. And you've had an experience of what it is to go into high vibrational energy, coming back feeling great, getting on with the rest of your day or getting ready to have a good night's sleep, coming back on the count of 5. 1, 2, coming back now. 3, 4, coming back on the next number. Awake, alert, feeling fantastic. Number 5. Cool. How many of you guys are feeling good now? Let me see a show of hands. Yeah. All right. Good work on that. Good work. Carl, good. Steve, Dennis, excellent. Good job on that. Dante, right on. Caesar, cool. Okay. So I'm going to wrap this up now. And of course, the question is, okay, where do we go from here? How do I learn energy awareness training? What steps, what's available? What you got? How do I do it? So because we're a small group on this call here, I'm going to have you just private message Dante. And he'll give you, Dante is my good friend and assistant, and he's going to work with you and get a little bit more about what's going on with you and what you need. And he'll be able to direct you to the different offerings that we have for you guys. For some of you, you're going to want to train with me, one-on-one in get personal attention. For other guys, you may want to start doing the energy levels, start the energy awareness training level courses. For some of you, there's different things. So whatever it is, just go ahead and contact Dante, and we'll figure it out what you need and how we can be of service to you. And I hope this has been, and Dante, is that cool? They can private message you or contact you?
Yeah, it sounds good. I just posted in the chat. My number is 602-303-5059. My name's Dante Hit on Facebook. So message me on there or shoot me a text and we'll set up a call. Great.
And on Facebook or call them. And that'll alert me. And you guys, you got something very valuable. Now, unfortunately, people don't value what they don't pay for. Okay. So, but this is my way of being of service. This is my way of being able to help you and take the tools that you've learned today and use them, and you'll move your life to the next level. And for those of you who really got your bell rung today and want to move forward, go ahead and contact us and we'll be happy to help you. And with that, this is Glenn Ackerman from West Hollywood, California. Energy awareness training, wishing you guys all the best in high vibration energy. I'm looking forward to training and teaching you guys personally soon. So until that time, bye for now.